Okay, I want to thank everybody for coming today. Hurricane Matthew is approaching us, and it's a storm that we should take seriously. I want to thank our commissioners for being out today, Commissioner Ortiz, Commissioner Stewart, Commissioner Hill, and Commissioner Ings. I want to encourage everybody to take this seriously and to get prepared. We think the main part of the storm will be on us, not tonight, but tomorrow night and into the morning. But storms can be unpredictable, and we've already seen the predictions for this storm change many times, so we should be prepared for the worst of it. Today is the day to get prepared, build a hurricane kit for you, your family, or business. Have a plan for where your family members will be and how they will keep in contact. We're getting the city prepared, and I'll go into that in just a little bit, but I want you to do exactly the same. I'm going to ask Manny Soto, our Director of Emergency Services, to give us the current track on the storm and how he anticipates it will affect the city of Orlando. Manny?
Thank you, sir. As of right now, the Hurricane Matthew is approximately 520 miles off the southeast corner of the Cape Canaveral. This system is moving along the shorelines, moving along the coastal communities, and it's going to have a significant impact in Central Florida. The main threat that we're looking at for this particular system is the wind potential damage that it could bring to us. We're looking at tropical storm force winds. We're looking at hurricane force gusts moving through the Orlando metro area. And in order to prepare for this particular system, the City of Orlando's Emergency Operations Center will be active, effective time tomorrow. We will ride out the storm to ensure that we have key staff personnel that we can proactively engage to respond more quickly for any event that we may have within the city. We want to encourage citizens to prepare. This is not a storm to be taken lightly. This system here, with the wind damage potential that we can see, we can have from power outage to tree down, power lines down. It is a very dangerous storm that we need to take action to prepare today. Don't wait till tomorrow. Based on that, the City of Orlando's Emergency Operation will have an operational presence. We've been coordinating with our disaster response partners with Orange County Emergency Management, Orange County Public School, Greater Orlando Aviation Authority, American Red Cross, Salvation Army, and other disaster response partners in the community that are going to be responding to this threat along with us as well. So with that said, sir.
Thank you, Manny. So I want to give you some of the nuts and bolts of city operations and where and how residents can be impacted. Let's start with Orange County Public Schools, who announced earlier today that they would be out on both Thursday and Friday. So all of our after-school programs always follow whatever Orange County Public Schools are doing. So they're going to be out on Thursday and Friday, so our after-school programs will be closed on Thursday and Friday as well. City operations, you can obtain sandbags today, 8 o'clock to 7 o'clock, and tomorrow from 7 a.m. to 12 at Orlando Streets and Stormwater, and that's at 1010 Woods Avenue. So that's the rest of today and through noon tomorrow, 1010 Woods Avenue. Here's an important one: recycling garbage and yard waste. So there will be regular service tomorrow, Thursday, regular service for Thursday in any recycling or garbage service. No service on Friday, but we will pick up Friday service on Saturday. So no service on Friday, but if you're a Friday customer, we will pick your garbage up on Saturday. Fire service will maintain a regular schedule. However, know that the large apparatus have to suspend service when winds are in excess of 40 miles an hour, and we anticipate that will occur overnight between Thursday evening and Friday morning. OPD's emergency service unit has made preparations. They have chainsaws, generators, bottled water, so that OPD operations can continue seamlessly throughout the city. Chief Mina has put all OPD personnel on a heightened level of alert and will monitor conditions 24 hours a day. And we have plans in place that if we need extra personnel, we can deploy detectives and other sworn staff that can be converted to first responder duties if necessary. The city's schedule: non-essential staff will be in tomorrow through noon. They will be off noon and Friday. Staff should check with their supervisors to determine their need. The permitting offices will be staffed for emergency needs on Friday. I would encourage people that have routine business with permitting to wait to do that business until next week. But if you have an emergency condition, we will be there and be available on Friday. Building inspectors are visiting construction sites today and tomorrow to ensure that necessary protections are taking place. And our forestry staff, which will probably be very important on Friday and Saturday and through the weekend, are on standby and ready for whatever occurs during the storm. Parking garages. So the Jefferson Street parking garage will open at 5 p.m. tomorrow for any city resident who wants to park their car in a covered garage. So if you have an area where you generally park your car and it's under trees and you would like to protect your car overnight during the storm, you can bring it to the Jefferson Street garage and the arms will be up. It will be free of charge, but you'll need to remove your car by 5 o'clock Friday, dependent on the weather. Orlando venues. The Amway Center, of course, has Garth Brooks scheduled for shows on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The Thursday show has been rescheduled, so the Thursday show will be not held on Thursday, but will be rescheduled to Sunday at 3 p.m., so there will be 2 shows on Sunday, and both the Amway Center and Dr. Phillips Center are closely monitoring the path to determine whether there need to be further rescheduling of various shows. Sunrail service. We have not had an event of this type since we've had Sunrail service, and we are actively monitoring that service. Again, same thing as our fire apparatus. If the winds reach 40 miles an hour, you have to slow the trains down. Operations cease at 45 miles an hour. When operations cease, approximately 130 crossing gates have to be either secured or disassembled and taken down completely. The train sets have to be broken up and stored and then reassembled. So taking Sunrail out of operation is quite a production. Likewise, putting it back into operation, you have to do those same exercises in reverse. In addition, the St. Johns River Bridge has to be certified for use after a wind event. Signals have to be tested to ensure their operational integrity, and they have to coordinate with CSX and Amtrak. So with all of that being said, Sunrail operations will cease tomorrow at 2 o'clock. So the last southbound train out of DeBerry will depart at 12 o'clock, and the last northbound train out of the Sand Lake Road Station will leave at 1:15 for the return trip to be done at 2 o'clock. For the latest information related to any of the storm activities, you can go to City of Orlando on Facebook and Twitter or cityoforlando.net. I'd like to call at this time on Roseanne Harrington with OUC to give you an update on their activities. Roseanne?
Thank you, Mayor. On behalf of OUC, I want to assure you that we are prepared and ready to respond. We have worked a number of hurricanes in the past, and we take these seriously. We have added to our staff. We've brought in line techs and tree trimmers from as far as Texas, Missouri, and Pennsylvania. So we will be following our normal protocol, which is to work until the conditions deteriorate, and as the mayor mentioned, that wind speeds get up to 35, 40 miles an hour. At that point, we will suspend working out in the field, and we will ride out the storm. Once the conditions improve, we will go out and start assessing the damage. Within 48 hours, we should be able to start having an idea of how long the ultimate estimated restoration time is. But the way we restore power is we restore to critical customers first, like hospitals, fire department, police departments. From there, then we work to lines that serve the most amount of people. For example, from the substation out to your home. So a lot of times we get questions, why do I have my neighbor has power and I don't? They might be on a different service line. We ask for your patience. This is going to be a slow-moving storm. It's going to be large and hover over us for a while. So it might be here all day Friday, and we might not be able to work and get out into the field until Saturday morning. So we ask for your patience. Please make sure that we have your accurate phone number on your account, so that when you do call in to report an outage, that it's easier for us to track your account. We ask that you call one time so that we don't clog up the system. Again, we will have our outage map in operation. You can view that at ouc.com/storm center. That will be up the entire time of the storm. However, our estimated time of restorations will not appear until 48 hours after the storm moves through. We also ask that if you have any debris in your backyard, lawn chairs, anything like that, if you could bring them inside, because they can become projectiles and get into the lines. We also ask that you stay away from any kind of downed power lines. They are dangerous even if they don't look like they're energized. As I mentioned earlier, OUC is doing everything that we can. We will be working tomorrow up until the conditions deteriorate. We have normal business hours. We are suspending disconnects the rest of this week and until the storm passes by. With that, I think I just want to assure this community that OUC is doing everything possible to make sure that we respond as quickly and as safely as possible. And Mayor,
Thank you, Roseanne. Okay, questions?
Big concern on the community. So far, there is no water, nor in Publix, nor in Walmart. There is no water supplies. People is asking where can they get some water.
I know that all of the stores are trying to replenish their stocks. I don't have any new or firsthand information about when additional supplies will be available, but I would say just keep in touch with your various suppliers. Gail?
Gas is another issue, Mayor, although in the inland areas, probably not as much as the coastal areas. If it does become an issue, that the winds do become such an issue, will there be a supplies, preposition, or anything that the city can do in that regard?
You really shouldn't need to do much travel during the next couple of days. I would think that our residents can stay in place. The residents from the coastal areas that are evacuating, I know that the governor has not suggested that they need to evacuate great distances, but I would ask our residents, to the extent they have people that they know on the coast, to be accommodating to them. Orange County is in charge of shelters, so I know that there are shelters that will be open for people from the coastal areas that don't have anywhere else to go. I'll let Orange County dispense that information. But there's not really a reason that our residents need to be traveling great distances. So I would say let the folks that are coming from somewhere else top off if they need to. You guys are all informed?
can I just say?
Yeah, Roseanne?
Two small things. I forgot to mention the phone number that our outage line is 407-423-9018. And if you're stocking up on water, you can go to any of the City of Orlando city parks and go to the H2OUC hydration stations and fill up with jugs. And the last thing is water supply. We didn't talk about that. We've been very fortunate that we haven't had interruption in water supply in the past. We don't know what this storm holds. I want to assure you that we have backup generators at all of our water plants, and we will work as quickly as we can, and we will ensure that the water quality remains at the highest level here in the City of Orlando.
And I guess to Roseanne's point, we have some of the best water in the state and the country that OUC provides. So if you can't get bottled water, which is, I guess, what you were thinking about, you can certainly fill up your sink or your bathtub with OUC tap water, which is just as good. And one last thing that I'll mention, we had Charlie, Francis, and Jean come through 12 years ago, I guess it was, and neighbors reached out to neighbors when one side of the street didn't have power. I know the other side of the street often took families in from across the street. Neighbors helped neighbors and watched out for neighbors, and I would encourage everybody to be in that mode again. If there are elderly folks that live on your street and may need some assistance, check on them. Let's do the neighborly thing and carry that on over. And then lastly, I don't think we had any injuries during the course of the actual hurricanes. Every injury that we had came in the aftermath when people who were tired of not having cable decided that they would rehook it up themselves and then touched one of Roseanne's power lines while they were doing that, or chainsaw accidents by people who aren't used to handling chainsaws when they're cutting up trees. And we don't know what this storm is going to bring in terms of debris and fallen trees and that type of stuff. We'll be able to assess that probably more clearly Friday afternoon. But just be careful and responsible in how you respond. Thank you very much for coming.